Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abhay and we are learning the Azure 900 certification course, that is Azure Cloud Fundamentals. And this is the video 4, and in the last 3 videos we talked about the whole syllabus and the certificate structure and what is cloud, what are the benefits of the cloud, and what is Azure, like what is the Azure architecture and the resource architecture on the portal that we discussed till now. So if you are coming directly on this video, you can check out my last video on this same topic, that is HN900. You can check out this complete playlist. Also, if you want this PDF, the document which I am sharing right now, if you want this PDF, you can directly download this PDF from the description. I will add the link. And to start, I am requesting you all to like and subscribe my channel. I am hoping at least 1,000 subscriber this year. Okay, so like it will just motivate me like to create more content like this, to more certification, because I'm going to cover the other certification is at 204 AI 102, and even I have already created a playlist on the AI 900. You can check out that particular playlist as well. Okay, so yeah, so in this particular chapter, that is chapter number 3, we are going to cover the Azure services. So in this chapter, like we will see some of the basic services that Azure provides, that generally we use when we create any development. Okay, like when we are creating any simple website as well, like so we require some basic services. So all the services we are going to understand in this video. And also like we will see like how the exam, like how what they will ask in exam related to this Azure services. Okay, so start with let's start, and let's understand like what we are going to cover in this video. So these are the basic services that we are going to see in this video, that is Azure app service, Azure Function App, Azure Logic Apps, Key Vault, Application Insights. Then we have the storage or database services like Azure Storage Account, Azure Cosmos DB, Azure SQL. Okay, so this Azure storage account, like this is the most important topic as per the exam, because you will find a lot of questions from this storage account. Okay, so let's understand first like what is this Azure storage account. Okay, so as per the name, like this is just a storing uh, this is the service to store your data. Okay, but what kind of a data you can store in the storage account, like there you can store many kind of a data. Like this storage account itself is divided into the 4 categories. The first one is Azure table storage, then we have the Azure file storage, then we have the blob storage, then we have the storage queue. Okay, so these are divided in the 4 different sections. And for the exam, like these two, the Azure table storage and the Azure blob storage, like these two are very important even when you are developing any project. Okay, at that time as well, like the Azure blob storage is a very common service that generally people use in the organization. Okay, the Azure blob service. So let's understand each one by one, like what is this Azure table storage and all other things. So first of all, Azure Table Storage is a NoSQL key value pair store. Okay, so in here you can store your data like a key value pairs. Okay, like in SQL, if you remember, like we store the data, like we define the column and all, right? But in the here in the storage table storage, like it's a structured data, but it is a NoSQL. Okay, because if you know like what is SQL data and what is non-SQL data, so that this table storage comes under NoSQL data. Okay, then it is used for storing structure non-relational database. Okay, these two keywords you have to remember. This is just to storing the structure and non-relational data. If you compare this with the SQL database or Cosmos DB, so Cosmos DB is a non-structural database. Okay, but this storage table is a structured database, and non-relational data means if we compare this with the SQL, then SQL is a relational database. Okay, and SQL is not a non-relational database. Okay, We will see like how this storage look like. Okay, but these 2 points you have to remember, like this is a structured and non-relational data we can store in the storage table. Then we have the file storage here, like you can like this will be used to upload the files. Okay, if you want to keep some files in somewhere, okay, it is more like a file explorer in your local systems. Okay, in the laptop, like we have the file structures like file explorer, like there you can create multiple folders and you can keep the files. So this is more like a same. Okay, like there you can put the files and store your data in the file format. Okay, if you see this one keyword I have written here, SMB, server message block. Okay, so this keyword is important as per the exam. If you find anything this keyword in any of the exam, that means your answer will be Azure file storage. Okay, like it might be possible like they will give you some conditions, like what is your data, and you want to store that particular data using a SMB. Okay, so what kind of a storage account you are going to use? So in that particular case, you have to select the answer as a file storage. Okay, so you have to remember this particular keyword SMB. Okay, then we have the Azure Blob storage. Okay, this is the main topic that comes under exam, as well as in the industry, like when you are going to develop anything, like this will generally come. Okay, so suppose like this also store unstructured data like images, video, documents, backups. Okay, so in the blob storage you can store any kind of a data like image, videos, documents. Okay, so basically for an example, if you are creating any website, okay, their uh, user can upload their documents, images. Okay, profiles, and they can also upload some videos. So in order to handle that in a website, you have to store somewhere, right? So you can use the blob storage. Okay, there like you can store all these type of document in the blob storage. Okay, so in the question, if they ask like if you want to if the user wants to store the images or video or any kind of a documents somewhere, then what kind of a storage device you will use? So you can tell like we can store the blob storage. Okay, also it is divided into the multiple three sections: blob, append blob, and the page blob. So the blob is just that what we talked about, like image, videos, and documents. Okay, for the larger file and media and documents, this is just a blob with okay, the basic one. Then we have the append blob and the page blob. So these two are not very important. Okay, but for the exam, you can just remember these by this keyword. If you in any of the questions, if you find like there is a one append in the question, append keyword, then you can select the append blob. Okay, so it is optimized for the append operations. Okay, like append means like when you are just pushing the data one by one. Okay, like you are not reading something, or you are not doing much write and read operation, you are just appending the data. Okay, so at that time like we use the append blob. Then page blob, like this is for the random read write and used for the virtual hard drives. Okay, so this is also not that much important, but for exam purpose you can just remember for random read write. Okay, this keyword is important for the random read and write operations. This page blobs we can use. Okay, but for you, like you have to remember first the block blobs. Okay, generally like in questions it might possible like they will not mention this block block word. Okay, like they will just directly tell you the blob storage. Okay, so when we are talking about the blob storage, we generally talked about the blobs. Okay, then we have the storage queue. This is I just write it here. Okay, but this is not the part of the exam. And generally, like I didn't see any questions related to the storage queue in the 900 agent 900. Okay, but I just write it here because a storage account also have capability to do have this storage queue. So this queue means in the DSA, if you already knew what is queue, okay, so queue means like when one item go out, we can insert the new one. Okay, so like every item coming line by line, okay, in the queue manner, like they are coming. Okay, so by using storage account, you can also maintain some data in the queue format. Okay, I hope you understand all the tables and blob storage difference. Okay, and this is also a main topic, the Azure storage tiers. Okay, in exam, like they will ask which tier you have to select when you are storing some kind of a data. Okay, so we are going to understand what are these different tiers in the storage account, and we are when we are talking about these tiers, that means we are talking about under the storage blob. Okay, right now we are only discussing about the blob storage. Okay, not table, not file, not queue. We are only talking about the blob storage. Okay, this blob storage. So under this blob storage, we have different tiers: hot, cool, and archive. So let's understand each Okay, so like that way you can manage your cost. I hope you understand. This is storage account. So we talked about storage table, then files, then storage blob. In the blob, we talked about the different tiers. Okay, that is sufficient for you to understand as per the exam, as well as like when you are going to create the storage account, that time like you will get more ideas. Okay, so my recommendation is to, if you have more time to spend, then what you can do, you can create Azure free account, and there you can create the storage account by yourself. Okay, so when you will create a storage account and you will upload the document in a container, that time like you can select like which tire do you want. Okay, whether do you want the hot tire or cool tire or a archive tire. Okay, so such thing like you will understand better when like you are actually creating the services instead of by just definition. Okay, but for the exam, definitely that this kind of a definition will work for you. Let's talk about the other databases services like SQL, that is a relational database. Then we have the Cosmos DB, that is a NoSQL database. Then we have the Azure database for the PostgreSQL, MySQL, and MariaDB. And then we have this one service, that is Azure Database Migration Service. So SQL, I hope you already know what is SQL. Okay, so also Azure provide itself SQL database. Okay, so you don't have to create any MySQL or something. Directly you can go to the Azure portal, and there like you can create your SQL server. Okay, when you create the SQL server, you can create SQL database under that particular server. Okay, so again, like this is a relational database, so nothing more to learn anything in depth. Okay, like you just have to remember, yes, can have Azure is also having the SQL database. Okay, and Azure have the Cosmos DB, that is a platform as a service. Okay, and even that Azure SQL is a platform as a service. So when we talked about the Cosmos DB, if you don't know like what is Cosmos DB, and so Cosmos DB is more like a MongoDB. If you know Mongo, what is MongoDB? Okay, so in Cosmos DB, MongoDB, we can store the data in a JSON format. Okay, like that is a unstructured data. In like JSON is a unstructured data, and we can store the JSONs in the Cosmos DB. Okay, so for the exam purpose, you just have to remember like Azure have something like Cosmos DB. Okay, there like we can store the unstructured data that we called as a NoSQL data. Then we have other Azure databases for the PostgreSQL, MySQL, and MariaDB. Okay, so if something you if you know like how MySQL work and MariaDB work, Postgre work. Okay, so what you can do, like you can create one service. By that service, you can manage your these Postgre, MySQL. Okay, okay, like by the definition, it is managed open source relational database. Okay, and what is the service? Azure Database Migration Service. Suppose you have a database at your on-premise data, not on the cloud. Okay, you have sir something database at your location. Okay, on premises. Then you can by using this migration service, you can move your database to the Azure from on-premise or other cloud. Okay, so by that service, like you can just move the location of your database from one place to another. Okay, so this is the main service work. Okay, so these are all the database services. Let's move to the other basic services of the Azure. Let's understand first what is Azure App Service. So suppose you are building any app, and for that you have the UI code, you have the API code. Okay, so once you like created your code in your local in the Visual Studio or something, then you want to deploy that particular code somewhere. Okay, so you can use the Azure App Service. So basically app service is nothing but a container to host your code. Okay, so service to host your web app or the APIs without managing servers. Okay, so this is the simplest way. You can just go to the Azure portal, there you can create the app service, then you can deploy your code to the app service. Okay, Also, like app service supports multiple languages, like it supports Java, C sharp, Python, all these languages it support. Node JS it support. Okay, so you, whatever the language you are doing, like you whatever in whatever language you are creating the your APIs, that you can deploy to the Azure service. Okay, and Azure service itself has their endpoint. Okay, so when you create the app service now, like you will get one endpoint. Okay, so by that endpoint, like you can access your website or API. Okay, then we have the Azure Function app. So Azure Function apps is a small thing as compared to the app service. Like they are like you create function app only for the single work. Okay, not for just a whole project. In the whole project, if you want to just isolate some simple or something logic, okay, then you can use a function app. So it's a serverless service to run code when only an event happen. Okay, so this serverless keyword is important. So you can use function app in many places. Okay, like when event happen, event means like when any event happening in your service, in your code. Okay, that time like you can call the function app. Okay, suppose if you want to trigger the mail automatically when file is uploaded, suppose user is uploading the file in the from the website, like it is uploading the file, and when they are uploading the file, if you wants to trigger the mail to users, something like that. Okay, like you are doing the event listening thing, so at that time you can just create a function app and there like you can do all this work. Okay, so this function app is based on that event happen. Then we have the logic apps. This logic apps is a no code, low code service. There in the logic app, you don't have to code much. Okay, like this is a no code, low code service to automate workflow between applications. Okay, so this is also a one small service. By that, like you can just automate your some small tasks. Like for an example, automatically saving email attachment to a OneDrive. Okay, so for doing this work, like you don't have to do much code, right? So what you can do, like whatever the email attachment you have, you can just Logic App will take that attachment and it will just save that attachment to the OneDrive. Okay, so this is a one small task. So for such small task, you can create the Logic Apps instead of creating the app service or function app. Okay, so if you have only simple task, there like you don't have to put much code. In that particular case, you can create the Logic Apps. For exam purpose, the app service and the function apps are important, but Logic Apps generally like they don't ask the about the Logic Apps. Okay, then we have the Key Vault. This is important. Okay, generally like when they are asking the questions regarding the security. Okay, then this Key Vault questions might come. Okay, so what is Azure Key Vault? Like suppose you have something key or secrets, okay, that you want to store somewhere. Okay, because that definitely like you don't want to store that particular key of any services in the in your code. Okay, because that is a security issue, you can't keep that in the in your code. So what is a secure way to store any key? Like you can store that in a key vault. Okay, so basically you will go to the Azure portal. There you will create the key vault. There we have multiple options to store the key, to store the secret, to store the certificates. There you will store, and that is a secure. Then your from your code you can call the key vault, and you then you can uh, take the key at the runtime. Okay, like not, you are not keeping anywhere in the in your code. Okay, to store the password, key, secrets. Okay, so for storing all the security things, okay, you can use the key vault. Okay, so I hope you understand like what is key vault. Okay, so this is just a storing device for your sensitive password, keys and secrets. Okay, let's understand what is this application inside. So basically like when you are creating any API or UI code, that time you wants to, if you wants to put some log in your application, so that later like you can check that log and you can identify the performance of your application, or is there any error in the applications. So you can create the application inside in your Azure portal. Then you can just attach that particular app inside to your API, and you can put any logs, any error in your applications. Okay, and later, like when your application run and all, you can directly check in the application insights. Okay, so this is for the logging purpose. Okay, like there, like you can put your log and error, exceptions, everything you can put in this particular section. Okay, by the definition is it's a monitoring service to track application performance and the errors, use case, finding slow response time or crashes in a web app. Okay, then we have the virtual machine that we can create the virtual machines on the Azure portal. Then we have the container instance. There, like you can host your container. If you know about what is Docker and what is Docker images. Okay, so when you are creating your Docker images, then you have to run that particular image somewhere in the cloud, right? So for to run the images, you we have the container instance, and to store that image, we have something else, your container registry, something like that. Okay, so my point is to play with the Docker images and all every container things. Like we have services on the Azure, we have container instance, we have Kubernetes services. Okay, these all are related to the container management. Okay, so these are some basic services. Okay, that uh, we have on the Azure. Even we have some AI services as well. So let me give you some demo of the Azure portal, like how we can check all the services on the Azure. Okay, so this is Azure portal, and if you want to see all the resources, then how you can see, you can click on this button in the left. Okay, there you will see all services. You can click on this, so you will see like there are a lot of services available here. For the AI and machine learning, there are 20 services are there. Then we have analytics, like there we have 21 services. Then we have for computation we have 33, and then for container that I talked about, container instance, Kubernetes centers, Kubernetes services. Okay, for container registry to store the images. Okay, to maintain all the container things, like we have different services in under the container section. Then we have the databases services, Azure Cosmos DB, Azure database for the PostgreSQL flexible servers. Okay, and then we have somewhere SQL Server instance. Okay, and also we have the storage account that uh, may be written somewhere else in some other sections. Okay, this is Azure SQL. So my point is like Azure provide a lot of services. So whatever you are going to work, like whatever you are going to create, whatever you can think, like whether you are creating the website, or whether you are creating the Windows app, or whether you are creating the mobile app, everything you can host on the Azure. Okay, there is nothing like you created something on the Azure, then you will not find something, and then you have to switch to the AWS. That is not the case. Whenever you are coming to the Azure, you can create any services you want, and generally, like you create whatever, like you only create out of these. Then we have this DevOps section. This is another thing, but then let's not discuss about the DevOps thing. Then we have general, that is cloud management, operation centers, free services. Okay, so there are a lot of services are there. Okay, I hope you understand. This video is only related to the services. We just talked about the services, so that you get familiar first, like what is Azure portal, like and what kind of services Azure provides. So that's it for this video. I hope you understand, and the next video we talked about more on the networking part, like how networking is configured on the Azure portal. Okay, so thank you guys, please like and subscribe this channel, and again I will attach that PDF in the description. um, I will add the link in the description. Okay, so thank you guys, bye.